Hello, everyone. I'm Don Zavis, National Sales Trainer, along with
Rhonda Peoples
and John Wechter.
And we're going to bring you a special session of ways to pay for sales training. It became very apparent that the people that were most in need of the services that we provide, in a lot of cases, were the ones that least likely had the ability to pay for them. So what we did was kind of accumulated over the last couple of years a lot of different alternatives that maybe some people don't naturally think of, and we'll get them on the board, but this might give you some reference point to work with. If you see or hear anything in today's session, please reach out to your coach and trainer, and we'll be happy to look at your unique and specific situation. Right. So number one on the ways to pay for sales training, I think, is going to be the most obvious, which of course is cash or check. And I think that kind of makes sense to everybody. It would be one of our normal programs. We have programs that are starting very inexpensively, and depending on the size of your company and on your needs, can certainly go up from that. But cash check, we accept all major credit cards, American Express, Visa, MasterCard. That probably for the most of our clients is really the primary way that they do business with. The next thing we have is kind of a unique thing. It actually started many years ago because of an IRS return. So many of the things that you're going to see in here actually were actual applications that we started. And we kind of refer to that as what we call a bill bank. And essentially what had happened was I had a client that approached me, interestingly enough, in the first week of January. You know, was really kind of a go-getter, said, I already filed my taxes, I already know what I'm getting, but I'm not going to get my return for a couple of months. Of course, right? The tax aren't, even needed to be filed until the 15th. So I said, well, what would you like us to do? And they said, well, I'm wondering if we could kind of accumulate our bills and my billing over the next couple 90 days, 120 days, and then when I get our IRS refund, what would be going to happen? We'll go ahead and get you caught up. I thought that was a very reasonable approach. I had never thought of it like that. So that's kind of the bill bank concept. Yeah. If you know something's coming up, maybe you have money coming, maybe you sold property.
So it's not just IRS. So
no,
it could be other things,
it
like
could be
property.
It could be anything. In fact, we had one that went out as far as 6 months. And it was for somebody who was actually selling some real estate.
Any short-term deferral idea is open for consideration.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So reach out to one of us. Tell us your unique situation. We're certainly happy to do it. But a bill bank is a very simple way. Another way that's often overlooked, and I don't know if you can kind of see over my shoulder, is trade. Many of the clients that we do business with are either connected through a professional trade organization. If you are not part of a professional trade organization, I absolutely encourage you to look in your local cities. There are structured barter and trade companies. Yeah. There are many here in the Tucson area.
New to me. It blew me away.
Yeah,
so look into it. It's very cool.
If you've not taken advantage of it, I really do encourage you to do that, because not only is it a great way for you to buy and sell your products, but it's a great way to provide service to people that may, in a lot of cases, may not necessarily have the ability to write a check to do that. There's also what we call a private trade relationship. And a private trade relationship is someone that may have a particular product and services of interest. I'll give you a quick illustration. The copiers that we have in the office in Michigan. That's through a private trade relationship. And we needed copiers. And they could definitely benefit from sales training. And they were originally the ones that kind of brought that and said, well, what if we could work it out where we can give you the lease on the copier and you provide a sales training? So, yeah, it really is. And again, it's a great way to be able to utilize an asset that you may already have.
Business helping business.
Business helping business. In fact, interestingly enough, trade, by the way, and barter, that was originally commerce long before money came out. Trade and barter was how business was done. So that's something that we do as well. So if you've got a product or service that you think would be beneficial, or you're interested in a professional trade organization, please reach out to one of us. We'll certainly be happy to head you in the right direction. Next item is a sponsor. A sponsor is an organization that sponsors you to be here. So what that would mean, for example, a lot of the financial services companies that we look with may have many, many clients. They may have many, many salespeople. And they sponsor them to be there where you're not actually taking the money out of your own pocket. Right. You're going to have a business or a company. Now, the interesting thing that I found was most people were so sure that their company wouldn't pay for it that they never reached out.
Right.
And when I say company, it isn't just a company. I've had churches that were willing to do it. I've had school systems that were willing to do it. These are just other people in your world that would benefit from your increased sales. Most people see themselves kind of in that very narrow time frame that it's only them. No, your employers would benefit from your increased sales, family members, as I said, churches, other organizations. So think of the people out there in the world that would want you to succeed. And those are the people that are wonderful for sponsors, and we've got very simple forms that we use. And if you'd like, again, reach out to us. We'll be happy to talk to you about our
And the worst they could do is say no. right?
That's words I've learned to live by.
Absolutely.
But there is a growing trend for employee education of all types, and it's just not the traditional. They send people to conferences all the time.
Yes.
And so just broach the subject with them as being a growing member of our audience.
Absolutely. And again, we're happy to help you with that as well, and we've got some things and some conversations we can have. So sponsorship is one of them. A loan. This is kind of an often underlooked one. And I actually have clients that have gotten credit cards that they were able to pay off. My greatest success story was a $5,000 credit card paid off in 10 months. So, I mean, when you think of that in terms of what you get, now, you certainly don't have to pay it off that quickly. That could be something that happens over an extended period of time. But whether it's a personal loan, a credit card, something like that, no different. I like to look at it no differently than the loan that you took for college. And you wanted to amass that knowledge and do that. And
it's a great accountability, though. I mean, really, you're putting the money out there. You know you've got to pay it back.
Yes.
So that's that accountability of really that can drive you to really be coachable, really do what it is that you're asked of. That's
skin in the game.
That's right.
Skin in the game is a very important factor. That when you've got something to lose, or you've got now a payment that you didn't have before, that now you've got to factor into your game plan, you'll find that you're going to figure out a way to do it. So a loan, and there's lots of different things. Another item that we have is called success sharing. And this is actually kind of I don't want to say a new iteration. Success sharing, I don't know if you can see that from where you are. This actually got captured by someone that said, would you put your money where your mouth is? And, of course, when you say that to me, that's got every earmark of a deer, so, of course, I'm going to say yes. So the idea of success sharing is we would identify a dollar value that you are making now. So say, for example, for our illustration, we determined that we look at your last 12 months and your average income is $10,000 a month. Okay, so your average income is $10,000. And the success sharing program, if you sell less than $10,000, you pay us nothing. We make nothing at all. In fact, we don't deserve to benefit unless we're bringing value and increased sales to your relationship. However, anything that you sell over $10,000, we do get 1/3 of. Much like you would have like for an attorney that does that, right? Now, here's the one caveat to the success sharing program. So not everyone wants to rush to that right off the bat.
Right.
It is a year commitment. And what I find very frequently is that person that goes from $10,000, 2 months into our relationship is now at $13,000. And now they're faced with having to write us a check for $1,000 when there may have been less expensive programs that were available. And their goal at that point is, now can I convert to one of the less expensive programs? And unfortunately not. Success sharing is one of the few relationships we have that does require a commitment.
That's because we take on all the risk, though.
We do.
I mean, really.
Absolutely.
We take on all the risk. There's no risk to you. So it's a win-win situation all the way around.
Right. And we have wonderful clients that absolutely love it. It's a good way for them. It's a good way for us because it takes out the fear and trepidations of what happens if I don't get a benefit of it now. But then again, our reward for our risk is significantly higher than maybe some of the least expensive programs or less expensive programs we have. So success sharing is an opportunity. Another item is we call it check hold. Check hold, very similar to a bill bank, but generally doesn't go for a particular period of time. So now we've got a lot of people that are, here we are literally the last week of December. And what I have a lot of clients that may not have a budget until next year, right? Because my company, like other companies, is structured on that January 1st to December 31st timeline. But I'll have somebody say, I really want to get started. I want to start to kick off the year with a bang. I, want to come to the, closing the year sessions, starting the year sessions. I really want to start making it happening. Unfortunately, though, I'm not going to be able to get, reimbursed for this or be able to bill until next year. So we will take it as a courtesy. They would provide us a check, and they can post date it if they choose, or they can just have today's date with understanding we'll hold on to your check for the length of time that you tell us. Right. So if it's 30 days, it's 30 days. If it's longer than that, it's going to be longer than that. But again, our goal is to get you into the coaching and training, derive the benefits immediately.
Get you rocking and rolling.
The people that are the most successful with our coaching and our training are the people who have decided that today's the day.
Yeah.
Right? They draw a line in the sand that's not, call me next week, next year, next month. It's like, I want to start today. Now. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of making no money, and we can certainly help you.
The check hold is a jump start. It's typically a shorter term type of financial instrument.
Absolutely, sure. But what it does allow you to do is to make that leap into the program, even though that right now, today, you may not have the means to do it. You know that, you've got your budget. 2020, in our case, literally is less than almost a week away. And yet, though, it allows you to do something. Another interesting to do, now this does, the next part of it is actually does require you to be a client of ours. But it's an often underutilized program, and although we've promoted it and make it is essentially a 1-month complimentary with every referral that actually becomes a client of ours. So one of the things that we talk about, and for those that are watching that are actual clients of ours that get the newsletter, is we really promote the idea of what we call a guest coming to session, or more specifically, a +1.
+1.
The idea of a +1 really is to your benefit, not even necessary, because a lot of times a +1 is a coworker, spouse, family member, something like that. But our influence really extends only to the amount of time we're either with you, in front of you, you're watching one of our online posts. It's when we're right there with you. All right? So if you have a guest or a +1 or anyone in your world that you think would benefit from increased sales, I strongly encourage you to invite them to come to the session. In the event that they become a client of ours, regardless of what their program is, so they could be on a very modest $100 program, right? Or you might be on a modest $100 program, right? Or you might be on a $1,000 program a month, and they get involved 100. You get whatever your 1 month is, complimentary. With a big thank you from the three of us.
Because it's hard to say no to us.
It's why it is truly hard to say no to us.
We really like it when a client wants to bring on their own accountability and their own goal to never have to pay us a check at all.
Right. Yeah.
So that means 1 referral a month. Yeah. We love it. You love it. Make it happen.
Work the system.
Yeah, we actually have a client right now. The most I've ever gotten was 4 months out of the year. But if you think about that and you look at some of our average programs, that's a significant dollar value attached. And the interesting thing about it was the people that ultimately were brought in as a guest or as a referral that ultimately came into our training and program thanked the original person that brought them there. It's all, and I frequently tell people, don't keep us a secret. Yeah. What we provide is really universally accepted by everyone. So for every client that you bring in that becomes a client of ours, regardless of the program they get involved in, whatever program you're involved in becomes complimentary for that month. Or you may say, you know what, I'm going to kind of keep this in stockpile and I want to use it 3 months in the future, or maybe money's tight in January, whatever it is. You get to pick. You can use it right away. You can use it any time in the year.
That's very nice.
It really is.
That's very nice.
And to us, that's, again, a thank you for being kind enough to bring people in. The next one and the final one that's really more than anything is what we call strategic partners. And if you're not one of these for us, I'm going to strongly encourage you to do. Now, we do an entire session on networking and strategic partners. The concept of a strategic partner, which differs from networking, so give me some leniency here. We're going to do a quick sales training. In a networking situation, if I give, and I'm networking with Rhonda, if I give her a lead and she makes a sale, I really don't participate. I make no money from it. Nothing really happens from it, right? I have the hopes that she's going to give it to me. But if I was a strategic partner with John, when John makes money, I make money. And when I make money, John makes money. So, for example, if I have agents that place us into speaking engagements, their job is to place people in speaking engagements. That's how they make money. So when they place us in a speaking engagement, that's how they make money. And then, of course, I do as well, and vice versa. So if you've got something that is a worthwhile strategic partner for us, please share it with us. If it's something that we can share. If there's a scenario where you do something, whether you're an event planner or something like that would be utilized in the course of our normal duties, there's an opportunity that when we have utilization of your services, we can certainly provide an income for ourselves, right? And we can provide you an income as well. So look at the strategic partner relationship. There's great opportunities that we have, and I really do like these because I think it kind of brings everybody up to another level. Not only are we certainly looking out for the things that would be beneficial for us in our training and coaching organizations, but by de facto, we're helping the wonderful clients that we have.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
So there's lots of ways to pay for sales training. These are kind of the big ones that are there. I would encourage you, and you would likely be sent here by one of your trainers and coaches to look at this. So take a look at it. See which one looks best for you. Certainly reach out to one of us. We'll be happy to talk about your unique individual situation. And as always, I wish you good selling. Ron,
absolutely. Anything? Same here. We're here to make a difference with you, so definitely reach out to us.
John Wechter here.
Take care. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye.